Did you know that some Social Security recipients could be receiving not one, but two payments totaling up to $5,500 by July 26? If you're currently receiving Social Security benefits or know someone who is, this could be the financial boost you've been waiting for. But here's the catch: you need to check your mail immediately because missing this opportunity could cost you thousands of dollars. Are you one of the lucky recipients who qualifies for this double payment? What exactly triggers these special disbursements, and how can you make sure you don't miss out on money that's rightfully yours? If this information sounds valuable to you, make sure to subscribe to our channel right now and hit that notification bell so you never miss important updates about Social Security benefits, government payments, and financial opportunities that could put more money in your pocket. We're constantly monitoring changes in Social Security policies and payment schedules to bring you the most up-to-date information that affects your financial well-being. The Social Security Administration has announced that certain recipients will be receiving two separate payments by July 26, with the combined total potentially reaching $5,500 for eligible individuals. This extraordinary situation isn't a mistake or a glitch in the system, it's actually the result of specific circumstances that align perfectly for certain beneficiaries during this particular time period. But what makes some recipients eligible for this double payment while others receive their standard single monthly benefit? The first payment represents your regular monthly Social Security benefit, which could range anywhere from $800 to $3,000 depending on your work history, the age at which you began claiming benefits, and your lifetime earnings record. The Social Security Administration calculates these payments based on your highest 35 years of earnings, adjusted for inflation, and applies a complex formula that determines your primary insurance amount. Have you ever wondered how your specific benefit amount was calculated, or whether you're receiving the maximum amount you're entitled to? The second payment is where things get particularly interesting, and this is what sets July 26 apart from typical Social Security payment dates. This additional payment could be a supplemental payment, a back payment for retroactive benefits, or an adjustment payment that corrects previous underpayments. Some recipients might be receiving their first payment under a new benefit category, such as transitioning from Social Security disability insurance to retirement benefits, or receiving a survivor benefit adjustment that wasn't properly calculated in previous months. For many recipients, this second payment represents money that was owed to them but hadn't been processed until now. The Social Security Administration sometimes discovers that recipients weren't receiving their full benefit amounts due to calculation errors, missing documentation, or delays in processing benefit increases. When these issues are resolved, the SSA issues retroactive payments that can add up to thousands of dollars. Are you currently receiving the full amount you're entitled to, or could there be additional money waiting for you? The timing of July 26 is particularly significant because it falls at the end of the month, which is when many supplemental and adjustment payments are typically processed. The Social Security Administration follows a strict payment schedule throughout the month, with regular retirement and disability benefits being distributed on the second, third, and fourth Wednesdays of each month based on the recipient's birth date. However, special payments, corrections, and supplemental benefits often get processed during the final days of the month to ensure all recipients receive their proper amounts before the new benefit month begins. What makes this situation even more compelling is that many recipients might not even realize they're entitled to these additional payments. The Social Security Administration doesn't always send advance notice for every type of payment adjustment, particularly when the amounts are relatively small or when the payments are part of routine administrative corrections. However, when these payments accumulate or when significant retroactive amounts are involved, recipients can suddenly find themselves with substantial unexpected deposits in their bank accounts. If you're wondering whether you might be eligible for one of these two payment scenarios, there are several factors to consider. Recent changes in your marital status, work situation, or health condition could trigger benefit adjustments that result in additional payments. Have you recently gotten married or divorced? Have you stopped working or reduced your work hours? Have you applied for disability benefits or had your disability status reviewed? Each of these situations could potentially result in benefit changes that trigger supplemental payments. Recipients who have recently turned 65, 66, or their full retirement age might also find themselves receiving adjustment payments as their benefits transition from one category to another. The Social Security system automatically adjusts benefits when recipients reach certain age milestones, but these adjustments sometimes take several months to process completely. During this processing period, recipients might continue receiving their previous benefit amount, with the difference being made up through retroactive payments once the new benefit calculations are finalized. Another group that frequently receives double payments includes individuals who have been approved for benefits after a lengthy application process. Social Security disability insurance applicants, in particular, often wait months or even years for their applications to be approved. When approval finally comes, the SSA typically issues a large retroactive payment covering all the months the applicant was eligible but didn't receive benefits. Could you be one of these recipients finally receiving the back payments you've been waiting for? The $5,500 figure represents the potential maximum combined amount for both payments, but individual amounts will vary significantly based on each recipient's specific circumstances. Some recipients might receive two payments totaling $2,000, while others could indeed reach that $5,500 maximum or even exceed it in cases involving substantial retroactive payments. The key is understanding that any recipient who receives two payments by July 26 should carefully review both deposits to understand what each payment represents and ensure they're receiving their full entitlements. Checking your mail becomes crucial in this situation because the Social Security Administration typically sends written explanations for any unusual payment situations. These notices explain the reason for additional payments, provide breakdowns of how the amounts were calculated, and offer contact information if recipients have questions about their benefits. Have you been regularly checking your mail for official Social Security correspondence? Or could important notices be sitting unopened in your mailbox right now? For recipients who receive their benefits through direct deposit, these payments will appear in your bank account without any action required on your part. However, if you typically receive paper checks, you'll need to watch your mail carefully during the final week of July to ensure you don't miss either payment. The Social Security Administration recommends that all recipients sign up for direct deposit to avoid delays and ensure faster access to their benefits. But millions of Americans still rely on paper checks for their Social Security payments. What should you do if you believe you should be receiving two payments but only see one deposit in your account? The first step is to wait until after July 26 to ensure all processing has been completed, as some payments might be processed on different days even when they're both scheduled for the same general timeframe. If you still don't see a second payment after July 26, contact your local Social Security office or call the National Social Security Administration phone line to inquire about your payment status. It's also important to keep detailed records of all Social Security payments you receive, including dates, amounts, and any accompanying documentation. This information becomes invaluable if you ever need to resolve payment discrepancies or if you're audited by the IRS, since Social Security benefits can be taxable depending on your total income level. Are you currently keeping organized records of all your Social Security payments and related correspondence? Remember that while receiving extra money is always welcome, it's essential to understand the source of any additional payments to avoid potential complications down the road. Some recipients worry that receiving extra payments might mean they'll face reductions in future benefits, but legitimate adjustment payments and retroactive benefits don't typically affect future payment amounts. However, if you receive payments you weren't entitled to due to administrative errors, you might eventually need to repay those amounts. The bottom line is that July 26 could be a financially significant date for many Social Security recipients, with the potential for receiving combined payments totaling up to $5,500. Whether you're receiving a routine monthly benefit plus a supplemental payment, or you're finally getting retroactive benefits you've been owed, this situation represents an opportunity to improve your financial position. Make sure you're checking your bank account regularly, monitoring your mail for official correspondence, and keeping detailed records of all payments you receive. Don't let this opportunity slip by without understanding exactly what payments you're entitled to and ensuring you receive every dollar you've earned through your years of hard work and contributions to the Social Security system.